All right, please. Ogamba, Noel, please go ahead. Lead us in prayer. You may unmute yourself.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so
Good morning from here.
sorry, this name that is showing is not actually the name I registered with because I did a change of name. So during introduction, of course, I will introduce myself.
Audible. It's not audible.
During introduction, I will introduce myself. Am I being heard?
Yes.
People are speaking on the background, so it's not.
Where's his number?
Okay, so please let's pray in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, we want to thank you for this opportunity. We want to thank you for this training. We want to thank you for the participants. We want to thank you for the trainers. We want to thank you for the organizers. We have gathered because we are interested in addressing the issue of gender-based violence in our society. Father, we pray that the training we are going to receive, that it is going to be beneficial to us and that it is going to be beneficial to mankind. We pray for understanding, we pray for intelligence, and we pray for better coordination throughout the duration of this training, now and forevermore. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to address a concern. Okay, so let's just do this later. I would like to invite the chairperson and the convener of this training today to give us our welcome address. But before we do that, I think we have about 43 of us on the platform now. So if we can quickly just introduce ourselves, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, just tell us your name, tell us the organization you represent, probably what your work is about, and then we can just do that very quickly in the next 5 minutes. So I'll just go from the list I have here. Ogamba, please introduce yourself.
We're not
Sorry, this one.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Ngozi Nana. So like I said, I have a change of name. So my name is Dr. Ngozi Nana, and then I work with an NGO, and then we are actually into an organization that is into HIV and AIDS intervention, and we also a gender-based organization. So where I work, we have a sexual assault referral center, and I'm the state coordinator for that. Thank you. Over.
Thank you very much. Abuye Grace. Tell us your name, the organization you represent, what your work entails. Quickly, please, 30 seconds. All right, while she's getting ready, Annie or Annie. Yes, please go ahead, Annie.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, my name is Anne Udo, and I work with an organization. We're based in Abuja, and one of our key areas of implementation is it involves gender and social inclusion. We have we have offices in 12 states, and in each of these 12 states, we have a sexual and gender abuse person, and this training is going to be very useful to the projects that we implement. So I'm really looking forward to to the sessions over the next 3 days. So thank you for making this possible.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I know that some of us may not want to unmute ourselves and speak. So for such persons, you can just type your introduction in the chat box. Abiola BFO, I see you. Welcome. Welcome to the session today. Moving on, Abuye, are you ready? While we are waiting for her, Atotu, Yemi, Wemi, I hope I didn't bother your name. Please go
No,
ahead.
you didn't. Good afternoon, all.
Good
My name
afternoon.
is Atotuyemi Yenawemi. I'm the Gender Dex Officer as well as the Women Affairs Director, Bayelsa State Ministry of Women, Children Affairs, Empowerment and Social Development. I'm also a member of the Gender Response Initiative team in the state. I'm so glad for this program. I've told some of my colleagues in the office to join as well. I don't know if you can send the link to WhatsApp so I can share with them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Regarding your request, I'm sure that the admin is listening to you and she'll do the needful. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. So
Thanks.
moving on, Brogo Malawa. Are you here with us?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Lawa Brogoma. I am a lecturer at the Delta State Polytechnic, Otefe, Ogara. Thank you. Hello. 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 I don't know whether you people heard me. Hello. Yes.
What those are delivery food? That's the drive. Now they can.
Nothing happened. There are the issues with online programs. We want to plan a summit. Make it in person.
What's the problem? I can't hear anything again. Any problem?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're welcome back.
Thank you. I
We're
really
not
don't know.
hearing you, Mr. Daniel.
Okay, I don't know what the challenge was anyway, but I'm using my backup for the audio now. So I think it should be good. Okay, so I was saying that we heard everything you said, Madam Lawal,
But I
and
want to
then we
go back to this.
want to introduce other persons. Who is speaking next? Chief Mira or Chef Mira,
Okay.
Daniel Musa, Deborah Adewale. We have just about 2 minutes more. In the meantime, Officer,
Good afternoon,
I see-
everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon, NK.
Okay, my name is Sarah Bassi. I work with Queen Mother's Foundation, and I'm very pleased to be here. I'm looking forward to learning so many things as gender-based violence.
We're going to
is
get
one
back
of
to
our
the
core-
camera.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
we can hear you.
Like I said, I'm looking
Good
forward to learning a whole lot. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon,
Please,
everyone.
Please mute yourself. Good afternoon, NK.
My name is Nana Kechinyere Teresa. I work for Amaclear Connect and Development Initiative. It's my pleasure being here. This is an interesting topic we all look forward. I hope to learn beautiful things and great ideas and way forward.
All right, thank
It's
you
quite
so much.
Mm.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, my name is Ohu Habaku from Life Helpers Initiative, Kebi. It's my pleasure to be in this platform, especially this training organized by the expertise to tap from the wealth of your knowledge, new developments. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we just have
Good
about
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, good
Hello,
afternoon.
good afternoon, everyone. My
Good
name is
afternoon.
Bilkisu. My name is Bilkisu Wengidadie Odoko Esquire. I am a member of Gender Response Initiative Bayelsa State. Hope to learn from this session. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, please go
Good
ahead.
afternoon. My name is Queen Esther Anyanwu. I'm the founder, Voice of Education Africa. We work with young people, particularly students of school age, giving them orientation on sexual and gender-based violence. We also work with inmates in the correctional centers across our states for programs that help orient them on or against sexual and gender-based violence, since most of them are in there as perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence. So this is what we do. I also have extensive experience as a principal of a high school, and a practicing education HR expert. It's my privilege to be here, and I look forward to gaining more knowledge and insights to further help me help the students, also the inmates at the correctional center. And I look forward to collaborations with other organizations represented here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Hello.
Okay, so we'll just
Hello.
take one
Hello.
more,
My name is
and then
Obehi.
we'll move to the next session, please. Thank
From
you.
Junior Sub Edo State.
Obehi, please go ahead.
Hello.
Family from Junior Sub Edo State. We're very interested in this program. We're into one of our pillars is gender. We're into gender-based violence and inclusion.
We carry out economic activities for survivors, and we're also very interested in mental health and psychosocial support of survivors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Obehi. Umar.
Hello.
Sandali.
Hello. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
my name.
My name is from Life Efforts Initiative. I'm very happy to be part of this. Okay, then. I'm Sufyan Omar from Life Efforts Initiative, KB. It is my pleasure to be part of this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So one last person. Sister Owedoho, you were speaking earlier. Please unmute.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we are hearing you.
I work for Queen Mother Empowerment Foundation. We are into gender issues, education. We carry out some charity activities in all the states in Nigeria. We do a lot of intervention. So I'm here to gain new ideas and strategies in this topic. Thank you very much.
All right, wonderful. So I hope the introduction, hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so at this point, we'll wrap up the introduction and then welcome our chairperson in the person of Dr. Ambassador Dr. AACSGBV. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone. I hope I'm being heard.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you. Thank you. So I want to welcome us to this very important training. The Association Against Child Sexual and Gender-Based Violence is a coalition of organizations, advocates, and individuals that are interested in mitigating gender-based violence in their own community. And it is registered with CSC since 2019. And our vision is to become a leading organization with presence everywhere, every major community in Nigeria, advancing justice, peaceful, equitable coexistence in homes and societies in Nigeria. So you can see that our passion is to see that somebody is in every community reporting issues of gender-based violence where it is necessary. And when we have this strong force together, referrals will be easy and care and support will easily reach those that are in need. So that's the major vision of the organization. And we are happy that as we called for this training, we have about 326 registrants for this training, which makes us very happy because it means that part of our vision will be achieved, because at the end of this training, with all of us now trained in all these communities, sharing information when there is need will no longer be a problem, so long with the use of technology. So with this background, I want to appreciate every one of us. I want to thank our chief trainer, my trainer, Dr. Beatrice Onoja, for the commitment to this program. And I also want to thank Mr. Daniel, our technical expert, who has really been working round the clock to see that we have a smooth training. I also want to thank Barrister Iheme and every other every committee members of this this training. And I want to thank all participants. So please, let's come online for these 3 days, just between 1 and 3 p.m. so that we can acquire this knowledge, this step-by-step knowledge of addressing issues of SGBV. So I want to believe that at the end of the training, we will have so many of us well prepared to provide care and support services to GBV survivors in our own communities and around where we are. So with this, I want to welcome all of us and wish us very successful training sessions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all you do and for putting all of this together. All right. So very quickly, we'll just go through the ground rules for a training such as this. Since we are online, we want to do the best to ensure that if we're not speaking, the mic is muted. And then again, we should all listen attentively so that we can really gain the best from the training. So given the diverse nature of discussions on violence against women and girls, participants should be culturally sensitive in their remarks. And we should actively engage in such a way that is productive and is progressive. So participants are welcome to offer constructive critique or differing viewpoints. However, such contributions should be framed respectfully, fostering an environment where diverse opinion can be shared without causing any discomfort or harm. So I think these are some of the few ground rules that we need to take into consideration as we make progress with our training today. So I'm delighted to introduce our trainer who will be introducing the next segment of the training today to us. Welcome, Dr. Beatrice Onoja. Are you with us, madam? You can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm not, hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes,
okay,
you
thank
are.
you very much, Mr. Daniel.
We can no longer hear you.
And our chairperson, thank you so much.
So I think your the internet is poor over there, so we can really hear you. You are muted now.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was I had a bit of a network issue there, and that was why you did not hear me at the time. So very quickly, before Dr. Noja comes up, I'll just be sharing with us the objectives of this training. Am I still audible, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. So the objective, I'm going to share with us quickly the objective of this training. I want to quickly welcome everyone. Thank you so much for commitment to ensuring the safety of women and girls, and essentially in the community. So for our objective, we're learning steps in GBV case management. And the key objective of this training is to ensure that participants understand the key steps in GBV case management, what are the essential tips that we must know when we manage GBV cases? How do we take cases? How do we assess cases? How do we plan? How do we implement? How do we follow up? Because many times when we have come to discover that some GBV cases do not get the required justice that they need because there is a problem somewhere, a lacuna somewhere, something that could have been done properly to ensure that that victim or survivor got justice, and at the end could not get justice because of some issues or some errors along the line. So the main objective of this training is to ensure that every participant learns or understands the key steps. Am I still audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so every participant learns effectively the key steps in managing GBV cases, because it is crucial in providing comprehensive support to survivors of GBV. And by understanding this case, understanding the steps in GBV cases as case managers or wherever it is we are, whatever platform we occupy in our various workplaces, we can ensure that survivors receive the necessary care and services that they need to recover and rebuild their lives. So essentially, the objective of this meeting or of this training, these 3 days, open up your heart, open up your mind, is to basically learn what are the steps in GBV cases, how do I help a survivor better, and how do I see that survivors can rebuild their lives and can go on with their lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So in the next couple of minutes, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be responding to a pre-test. And then after the pre-test, we can then make progress with the training today. I'll just paste it in the message box here. Let me admit everyone waiting so that we can all have access to that. We have about 10 minutes to answer the pre-test questions. Just a moment while I add it to the chat. Please, if you're not speaking, be muted. Oluba, I keep muting you from here and you keep unmuting yourself. Could you please mute and remain muted until you are called upon to speak, please? Thank you. The reason why we ask individuals to mute themselves is so that we can have a proper decorum as we try to learn together. So in the next 10 minutes, we'll be looking to complete the pre-test. And the pre-test is important because it allows us to measure the impact of the training. So right now I am posting the link on the group. All right, good. I've posted it now. How many of us can see it? If you can just give a reaction to the message on the. Okay, great, great. Awesome, awesome. So let's quickly fill it up. In the next 10 minutes, then we can then proceed with our training.
Which of the group?
The chart, this chart. Okay, let me also post it in the WhatsApp group too. So
Please
those of
post
us
on
who
the
are in the WhatsApp group.
I can't find it here. Yeah, post on the WhatsApp group, please. Thank you.
Okay, okay, great.
Oh, I've seen it. But still post on WhatsApp group.
All right, so here is the link to the pre-test. So like I already intimated, the essence of a pre and post test is to measure the knowledge, to allow us to understand what the level of knowledge is before the training, and then what the level of knowledge is after the training. Obeyde Meg, please, can you mute yourself?
Okay.
We are waiting, please. Mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you, Professor Bioma. I am sending the contact details to you at the moment, so you can reach out at your own convenient time. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
How many of us have finished the pre-test? Oh, someone said they're not seeing the test. Okay, the test is in this link I'm sharing now. So I think I am going to put it again on the slides so that we all can easily see it. Now, for those of us who are sharing the link of the group to individuals who are not registered for this training, I think that Welcome, Dr. Ukeme. We are now filling the pre-test. Here's the link again. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so Tosin Patricia says she's done. Okay. All right, so there's a question here. I'm just going to call on our chairperson or Dr. Beatrice to respond to that. Someone says, I have colleagues who are not registered but are interested in the training. How do I proceed? Madam, please, if you can respond to that.
Okay, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, ma'am.
Because, I did say yesterday that the fact that 326 persons have registered, all of them may not be present, and we can see it right now. So I would suggest or plead with the committee that please let's allow anybody that wants to participate. What do you think? Did you hear me, Mr. Samuel? You didn't hear me. No, somebody is trying to come.
So I heard you, ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's now I can hear you. So I want to say, let them come in since our room can accommodate 300 persons. Let's allow anybody that want to participate. Then at the end of the day, like we said, who wants certificate will pay the 3,000 naira. So that's my humble appeal to the committee, please.
Okay, great. All right, Millicent, you can go ahead and share the meeting link to your colleagues who want to participate. But you promised that you would also share the registration link with them. I'm going to request that it's active again so that we can have their details too.
Okay, yes, they will still register. They will if we share with them now, this is the end of the one. Then when we have finished in the afternoon, we can share the link with them. Then they will rectify, they will do proper registration. And you will still get their details.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Beatrice, I'm sorry, I hope you are with us.
There's no problem, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, great. So a couple of us have already finished answering the pre-tests.
So let me share with you.
Fadila, you said you try answering the test, but when you click, no answer, nothing is working. I think you have to refresh your browser because I have a couple of persons here who have already completed the test already.
Daniel, how many more minutes do the pre-test?
For the pre-test, we should be wrapping up in 2 minutes.
Okay, please, because our time is fast spent.
Yes. Good thing is Now, we already took the introduction to the training today. And that was by Hechi, if I remember her correctly, Olarewaju Hechi. So I think now is a good time to wrap up the pretext exercise as we get up for the training today. Let me just quickly share again the content of our meeting today. So we are quite a little bit behind schedule already with the things we need to accomplish today. One of them being the opening prayer that we've said, the introduction that we performed, the welcome address, and then setting the ground rules. And now we are in the pre-test. So the next to do is to introduction to GBV case management. And for this, I would like to introduce Dr. Beatrice Onoja, who is the Director of Training for the Association of Against Child Sexual and Gender-Based Violence, to take the floor and to lead us through that session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Daniel. Good afternoon, my leader, Ambassador Eris. And good afternoon, everyone that registered for this training. I'm excited that a lot of people are interested in this. That shows that we are actually very much neck deep into or passionate about GBV case management, because of course we know that the issue of GBV is escalating by the day, and seeing a lot of people are into it, trying to see that we fight or we try to eliminate GBV in our society is quite exciting for me as a GBV advocate. So I really appreciate everyone, especially my national chairperson who made this possible. And Daniel at the background, thank you for all your technical support. The coordinator that made sure the mobilization was done, Barrister Hechi Olarewaju, I appreciate you too. So quickly we'll be going into, sorry, you have seen my face. I'll have to off this video for a better quality, output quality. Thank you. So we are going straight into the overview of GBV case management. GBV case management as it is, let me start by saying, let me just use this word, like a disclaimer, that this training is not, when we have done this, does not mean that we have trained you to become a GBV case manager. The steps in GBV case management is a general knowledge we're supposed to have for those of us that are into GBV. GBV case management is all-encompassing. It has a lot of features which cannot be done effectively online. That's why we selected specifically steps in GBV case management. So under GBV case management, what are the objectives? You learn the definition of case management, then you learn the steps of case management. Now, like I said earlier, that GBV case management is all-encompassing. Remember, what we are here for is just the steps. We are just here for the steps, not all about the GBV case management. Because when we are to do that, we have to start from what is GBV, all that encompasses with GBV. And going through the people that applied for this program or this training, I found out that we have a lot of both organizations and persons who are working in the area of GBV. So I believe that GBV is not a new concept to most of here. So that is why we are going straight and concentrating on the steps of GBV case management. So what is GBV case management? It's rooted in social work case management, as earlier noted. It's a structured method for providing help to a survivor. Structured. You know, before my training under UNFPA for the GBV case management, I would say I provide my services without any structure. All I know is that I'm passionate about things that has to do with GBV. So I go into the case, I do it to the best of my knowledge, make reference to the best of my knowledge. But by the time I had this training, I came to realize that there is a structured method for providing help to a survivor. Now, I want us to take this as key. The next point we can see on the screen. GBV case management involves just one organization, usually a psychosocial support or social services actor, taking responsibility for making sure that, one, issues and problems facing a survivor and her or her family are identified. Survivors are informed of all the options available to them, and that survivors' needs are followed up in a coordinated way. Underline that word coordinated. Underline that word structured method. Underline the word one organization. Very key. The last point is they say survivors are provided with emotional support throughout the process. Now, some person may be asking, involves one organization, how? I want you to understand that GBV case management is not activism. It's like a service provider providing services for a survivor, just like you have a medical doctor who is providing medical services to a patient. So GBV case management is different from activism, or is different from being a GBV advocate. Being a GBV advocate, activism comes in. But being a GBV case manager, it is purely on service provision for the affected person. That is the survivor, as we call it. So next slide, Daniel. So we have, as you can see on the screen, we have the steps here. The steps are survivor-centered. I believe we know these words. Steps of survivor-centered case management, there are 6 in number. The first one, introduction and engagement. Second one is assessment. The third one is case action planning. The fourth one is action plan implementation. Then we have the case follow-up and case closure. So these are the 6 steps when it comes to case management. So everything about case management takes the form of these 6 steps. Yes, these 6 steps we are introducing to you today is for you to know the steps, what is in each of these steps, but breaking it down step by step as it relates to maybe how you handle IPV, you handle different forms of GBV. It's not part of this package. What is purely here is steps in GBV case management. So that is just the general overview of GBV case management. So maybe we'll take 1 or 2 questions if there are on this, then we'll move straight to the steps in GBV case management. Or should I move ahead? Please, let's make it as interactive as possible, because you know, after the training on this GBV case management, I become very passionate about it, because I'm into GBV management before even this training, but I begin to understand a lot of things. You know, I put in my activism into case management. You understand? So, and that is what a lot of us do. So this training is going to like provide some kind of reorientation of how we do our work as GBV case managers, or as GBV service providers, or people that intervene in the area of GBV. just go ahead like we already said, but I'm going to give 2 scenarios. Please, when I give these 2 scenarios, I expect 2 persons to give us some an answer to that. And then please, everybody should note these 2 scenarios because we're going to be using it throughout this training for these 3 days. We're going to be making reference to it. So we have a
sorry, madam.
Please,
scenario of a young girl who
can I
comes
ask
to
a
your
question?
organization.
Before you move further,
Okay.
Can you hear me? Yes, this is Habakkuk from Kebi. When you talked about one organization, I begin to wonder, could it be just one organization where people who have many situations like this, different organizations come together to make some supportive services to the survivors? So when now you say it's only one organization, I didn't get it very too clear. Can you make explanation on that?
Okay, thank you very much. By the time we continue with this training, you will understand it better because there's what we call referral web. When 2 organizations, for instance, a survivor that is raped comes to your organization and reports the case. You as that organization, you are the one that is the case manager, the one that is to take up the responsibility of seeing that that survivor gets all the services. But where you now take the case to another organization, and then 2 of you, like you are collaborating to do that, provide that services, is no longer, is not ethical. What you do basically is referral, but we'll come to that. Let's just go ahead with the steps. At the course of it, you understand it better. But usually, ethically, by UN standard, one organization is supposed to be in charge. And even by the time we begin to talk about it, you understand why, or you will also know that actually it's supposed to be just one organization that is supposed to manage a case, not 2 organizations. Of course, how can you even be pushing the survivor from one organization to the other who actually is taking the lead to make sure that the survivor gets services? She can even be worried and want out of getting other services that she needs. So today, basically, we're going to be...
Okay.
Today,
I actually
wanted
to ask a question with respect to this, your explanation
can we
now.
just like hold on a little? Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes. You can go ahead. I've paused. When you finish now, maybe we can ask.
Just put it on a parking lot. I know that it will generate a lot of questions, but just put in a parking lot, we're going to discuss that. So I'm going to create 2 scenarios and 2 persons will please attend to that. Scenario 1, you have a young girl that comes to your organization and tells you that she has been raped. And she needs some assistance. She needs some assistance from your organization. So as a GBV case manager or as an organization who provides GBV services, how will you manage this case? Please, in just 2 minutes, how do you manage this case? I want to believe that the people that are on this platform are people that have been into GBV case management. So how do you manage this? How have you managed this type of case, or how would you manage the case?
Please, can you come again with the question? Sorry, it was breaking.
Okay, if I may answer the question.
Yes, Daniel, please, you coordinate this. I think anybody that wants to answer will put up your hand up, and then he will call someone so that will be coordinated. So I said a young girl of 18, 19, thereabout, comes to your organization and tells you that she has been raped and she needs assistance. What would you do as a case manager? Let's call her name Jane. Jane is 17, she's 18 and above, and she comes to your organization. She has been raped and she needs your assistance. What will you do? Just tell me the steps you will take.
Okay, good afternoon to you,
Dr. Ngozi,
everybody, and
please.
good afternoon to the program. I'm delighted to be on this training today. My name is Tosin Olademeji Patricia. So if in that scenario, what you will first provide is life support, the first line support is what you provide. Because there are some services you might not be able to render to that survivor. So providing first line support, which is life, you will be able to know what the survivor needs and refer the survivor to the appropriate quarter where the person, if there is, they will be able to examine the survivor. If there is penetration, they will be able to give maybe HIV PrEP, which is PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, will be administered to the survivor. Then they will test the survivor of maybe STI and every other services. If the person is 17 years old, is sexually active, so they can test the person and give a contraceptive. If the person is already pregnant when he's raped, they can look for a way to cancel the person, maybe to leave the pregnancy, or if the person is not pregnant when raped, so they will administer a contraceptive to the person. So, but the first thing first is first line support.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tosin. Daniel, let's just have one more, then we'll move ahead.
All right, Dr. Ngozi, your hand has been up. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So for our center, because we run a sexual assault referral center, so the steps we take is that, first of all, when this survivor comes in, so the first thing we do is to get the person to meet with our counselor, with our mental health and psychosocial support personnel. So this person settles the survivor in, then have interaction with this person, and then that interaction with this person, of course, the assurance of confidentiality and everything, trying to even make you not to see yourself as that you're the reason why you were raped. So all of that is done by the mental health and psychosocial support person. Then from there, he or she will now know what is next needed for this person. Apparently from there, we now take this person to meet with our triage. That's a triage nurse. From there to the lab. So there are some series of tests will happen, like the issue of a pregnancy test, HIV test, other sexually transmitted infections. Then after that, then the next thing is that the person gets to meet with the doctor, and then if there are drugs to be given, and then the pharmacy, and then other follow-up. Then also where we need to, at some point too, if the perpetrator is somebody that we need to go after, then we also liaise with the Ministry of Justice, and then we make sure that we register a case at the police station, and then from there, we'll be able to get to the perpetrator. So that's how we run it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Ngozi, for that. So we'll put their both that scenario and go on. Please be making reference to both the scenario and the answers that we're giving. And at the end, we'll sum it up. Next, second scenario. We'll call her Madam Grace. Madam Grace has been suffering domestic violence for some years under her husband. But the last one that happened, he used a metal object and hit her on the head, and she bled. And then she ran to you and said, I think right now I really need help. This is what my husband has been doing to me for some years now. But today, it has entered another level. Please, what do I do? How can you help me? So what will you do as a GBV case manager as she runs to your organization? Remember, the two scenarios are different scenarios for those of us that are into GBV.
Millicent, please go ahead. Share your opinion.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So I wanted to jump into the first scenario. Just like the presenter said, the two scenarios are different. So the first one, we should also remember that she's an underage, she's just 17 years. So in the process of the services being provided for her, we also should consider the fact that we need the consent of the parents in the services that will be provided, because she's still a underage or a minor. That was what I wanted to add.
Sorry. No, we have left that scenario. We are in scenario 2 now.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. That's why I need 2 people to comment on the second scenario.
Samson Kalio, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Samson Kalia from the Red Cross. Okay, first, with respect to the second scenario, I think the first thing to do would be to reassure and provide psychological support and also first aid because she's bleeding already for the woman that had an injury on her head. Then you calm her down, get the information of what happened, and then explain the available services that you render. If you're in charge of taking care of the case or situations of GBV, you tell her available services. If you're a referral center, like at times we do, you can also tell her the available services you can give to her, and then you now activate your referral procedures or processes to get her the needed support that she wants. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. One more person, Daniel.
Tosin Patricia, your hand is up. Okay, Habakkuk, please go ahead.
In addition to what I think it also be good that we sit with the husband and then begin to know what was the issue, what led to this thing, because that has to do with something like what do you call it now, therapy now. You counsel her, give her more awareness, educating him, telling her about I'm just adding to what he has said there. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Sorry, someone is saying something.
In addition, sorry.
We actually need to.
In addition to what the first person said, in addition to what the first person said, they are supposed to ask if there is any relation that they can move that survivor to of that physical violence to, so that the person can be in a safe place, pending the time they were able to calm everything down and you go back to the house.
Okay, thank you very much. There are no wrong or right answers for now. Like I said, let's the 2 scenarios, put it on the parking lot. The answers we got to parking lots, but as we continue, please, we'll be making reference to both the scenarios and the answers that were given. So steps in GBV case management. The first step is introduction and engagement. Next slide. What are we supposed to get here? Learn to greet and comfort a survivor to effectively build rapport. Explain confidentiality and the exceptions to confidentiality. Guide survivors through the process of informed consent in a safe and empowering manner. Now, in the 7 steps of GBV case management, this first step is important and crucial. Once you miss this first step, it's either you manage the case wrongly, that a lot of things could go wrong, or you put the survivor in more danger, or the survivor may be forced to pull out from getting more services. So how you handle the step 1 is what determines the outcome of the case. It's what determines the outcome of providing the survivor with the required services. Next slide. So the first step, like I said, is introduction and engagement, which is there. Yes, next slide. Now, what's the purpose of the first step? That is the introduction, and as the name applies, introduction and engagement. You are now trying to You introduce yourself to the survivor also introduces ourselves to you, and then you get some kind of, you form a kind of rapport between you and the survivor. And like we said, it's a foundation for a healing relationship. Remember, case management, like I said before, please take it back. Case management, like I said before, is not activism. There is a line, a very big line between the two. Before now, when you bring a case to me, a survivor brings a case or anyone gives me a case, the first thing I remember is police station, court, and the rest of them. Yes, that one is part of activism. But if it is GBV case management, these are the steps. You must form a rapport with the survivor, build a foundation that will help the survivor to heal from the trauma. Now, how do you start? Of course, you greet and comfort the survivor. No matter how, maybe the person may even be running from somewhere and be looking back. The first thing, of course, you do is to calm the person down. First of all, you calm the person down, comfort the person, make sure that you yourself is a safety place for the survivor. It's from there that you'll be able to facilitate disclosure. So you begin building a relationship with the survivor, communicate in a warm and open way, get consent from the survivor to provide case management services. Explain case management process. Explain confidentiality and exceptions. Very important. So when you meet with the survivor, introduction and engagement, remember you have not started assessment. In introduction and engagement, which is the first step, what you do at that time, calm the survivor down, get to know the survivor, let the survivor get to know you, and let the survivor get to know the services that you provide. You talk to the survivor, okay, yes, I'm a case manager, or yes, my organization manages such cases, but the issue is that there is, this is what we provide, and by the time you need, these are the services that we don't have right here, that we may need to refer you to other services. We may need, depending on what your story is about, we may need to refer you to other services. So all the services you might need, remember you have not listened to her story, you are just telling her. All the services you might need might not be here. So we may be referring you to other places to get such services. And then you also tell the survivor that if we are providing these services for you, managing your case, what you are going to disclose to me, if it's something that breach our exception, that is, there is what we call mandatory reporting. If the things you are going to mention to me will, I'm assuring you of confidentiality, but there are exceptions. Of course, as GBV case actors, we should know the exceptions. When the issue has to do with C, that is sexual and exploitation, that has to do with GBV, that is humanitarian workers and development workers. If it involves such a person, there is exception. The confidentiality has to be broken because the case has to be reported. You also make the survivor to know that if it's something that is involves a threat to life, if it is something that involves a threat to life, just know that I cannot keep it to myself. I will have to involve some persons to be able to provide you help. These are the two key areas that I know I cannot provide you confidentiality. At least before the person tells her story or his story, the person already understands mandatory reporting. The person already understands that there are exceptions to their confidentiality. Also explain the survivor's rights. Let the survivor know that, okay, despite that one that brings this case here, you have the right to ask questions. You have the right to, at whatever point that this case is going, and maybe you are not comfortable, please, you have the right to tell me what you are not comfortable with. You have the right to tell me stop. You have the right to say, please, let's just slow down a little. You have the right to do this. You have the right to do that. And then make sure the survivor understands all your explanation. Ask the survivor questions. And what we do in case management, questions that we ask are always open-ended questions, because when you ask open-ended questions, you allow the survivor to express himself or herself more. Don't ask survivor, were you raped? Of course, the answer it will be either no or yes. But when you say what happened, you have opened up the channel for the survivor to disclose more about what happened to her. But remember, were you raped or what happened to you is not on this step. Introduction and engagement is not here yet. Under introduction and engagement, as the step, the title implies, is getting to know each other and trying to engage the survivor, trying to make the survivor know the services that you can provide, services that are available, and services that can require you to refer her to other organizations. Next slide. Okay, this activity is supposed to be in relation with the scenarios I've created, so let's move on. So of course, like earlier said, you greet and comfort the survivor, you build a relationship. Please, building a relationship, your facial expression is very important. Create a comfortable, safe, and private environment. If your office is in shambles and this person is already traumatized, by the time she enters your office, it can re-traumatize the person. So that's why as case managers, as GBV case managers, where you conduct your, where you engage your survivors should be a place that when the survivor comes, the person will feel safe. Your facial expression should be also, she should feel safe with your facial expression. There are some people that will come just by looking at your face, they will tell you, it's like, I don't want to talk today, they will go. So you have to be welcoming. Your physical space should be private. Where you ask survivor, we have had scenarios of a survivor going to a police station to report a case. Immediately she get there and the gender person was saying, talk now, talk. You say how many people rape you? And both other police personnel that were there were listening. Other people that came to report cases were also listening. So how do you think that survivor will want to continue with the case? Because the survivor will not feel safe. So you need a special office for that. Just one person, except where there is need. And then you make the place private. Be welcoming, be warm, be calm, and open. Introduce yourself and explain who you are. Here is an example for you. Hello, my name is Doshima and I'm a caseworker. I talk to many women every day who are experiencing troubles in their lives. I'm very glad that you came here today. I am here to listen and discuss with you what help you may want. Before we begin, there are a few things that I want to tell you about. What are those few things? These are the services we provide. These are the things in case your issue has to do with so. There will be exception in your confidentiality, but be assured that everything you tell me will be confidentially kept. But if it bridges these 2 areas or 3 areas, I will have to break that confidentiality, the confidentiality I've already talked to you about. So you explain more to the survivor. Informed consent. You know, we hear this consent. Yes, it's clear. All of us will say, informed consent means that you agree and, you know, you consent to whatever the person said. So, but we can see there are 2 key things here. When we talk about informed consent, we're looking at the voluntary agreement of an individual who has the legal capacity. Please underline it. Who has the legal capacity to give consent. So I'll pause to ask, in the first scenario that we mentioned of the girl of 17 years, does she have the legal capacity to give consent? Anyone?
No, she doesn't have the,
have
this is
any right
Millicent
to give
speaking again.
She doesn't have. Why?
Yes, because she's a minor.
Because she's a minor. So in GBV case management, we have what we call assent. We have what we call assent. There is an age limit where, especially children that are between 14 to that 17, they give assent. That is whatever their caregiver says, she must agree to it. If she does not agree to it, it will not be done. So it means that she doesn't have that legal capacity by law to give consent. So, but she can give her assent. The survivor must have the capacity and maturity to know about and understand the services being offered. So it means that if the person did not voluntarily agree and the person does not have the legal capacity to give that consent, then it is not informed consent. The form that you file may be questioned. She must be legally able to give her consent. So these are two basic things when it comes to informed consent. Next slide. Why do we need informed consent? Informed consent is essential to achieving the guiding principles of a survivor-centered approach, as it helps to establish a survivor's explicit control over the case management process. Without establishing informed consent, we jeopardize the relationship with the survivor. Now, let me quickly ask, from the little that we have already said, when do we get this informed consent? Is it before she tells her story or after she has told her story?
Before.
Before, thank you very much. At least I'm happy now that we are following. So you get that informed consent before she tells her story. Because if she finished telling her story and you see that you cannot handle it, then she will now have to go to another organization and start telling her story all over again. And maybe that organization too cannot handle it. Then she now go to another organization. Do you understand? It can frustrate the survivor. So you get that informed consent even before she tells her story. Because it's after that informed consent that she not start telling you her story. So obtaining informed consent demonstrates respect. It shows survivor will intend to be collaborative and empowering. It means that two of you are going to be working together. It shows that she understands what you have explained to her or him, and you are accountable to the survivor. Next slide. When do we obtain informed consent? Now, look at it. Before case management services begin, you can see it in bold. Before listening to survivor's story or gathering any information, that is when you give that form. The person will fill that info, that you have explained everything to her first of all, and then if she agrees, then she now sign that consent form. That is the first place that you get informed consent. Now, that's the first place to get informed consent. That doesn't mean that that is all. That is only the time you can get informed consent. You also need that informed consent as the case progresses, because it's part of the case management, especially when you are making referrals. When you want to make, because you are going to be planning together. When you are making referrals, she needs to also get a consent to wherever you are referring her to. For instance, she needs medical care, and you told her that you work with the PHCs, and that is the hospital that you want to take her to. And she tell you, no, that PHC, my husband brother is there, like for scenario 2. My husband brother is there. I don't want him to be monitoring what I'm doing. Or scenario 1, the girl will tell you, no, that's one of my schoolmates is there. I don't want her to know what happened to me. So at that point, you see that because she has said no, you cannot proceed to go to that PHC. You have to look for another hospital for her. So it has to do informed consent before listening to her story, during the case management, and especially when making referrals. So that if there is anything, you present and say, but you accepted that I can bring you to this hospital. You accepted that we can go to the police station. You accepted that we should go to meet a lawyer. You understand? So that's the areas that we need informed consent. But the first one comes even before you hear her story. Next slide. Yes, how do we obtain informed consent? 5 steps of obtaining informed consent. 1, explain the case management process. I've been saying it, and I'm still saying it, and the document is still saying it. Explain, explain, explain. Even before you hear her story, explain. Explain confidentiality. As you are explaining confidentiality, explain exception to confidentiality. Explain client information. How are you going to save her information? How you make her to understand that whatever services that you are going to help her get is based on the information she gives you, because that is also what will help her to disclose more. Because if you tell her from the beginning that if you didn't give me adequate information, I might not be able to help you as much as I should. But if you give me all the necessary information, I know that I will try my best to see what I can do to refer you to available services. Explain the survivor's rights, which I've mentioned. Ask the survivor if they have any question. These are the steps to take when you are drafting that consent form. When she's filling it, you make sure you follow these steps to be able to help her to feel it better. Next slide. Explain case management. Caseworkers will listen to the survivor's story and discuss what the person needs to help them recover. Caseworkers role, this is your role. Explain that this is when you tell me your story, after you have told me your story, these are the steps I'm going to take to help you recover. Develop a plan with the person to meet their needs. Give appropriate referrals that the person approves. Support the person in accessing services. Be present throughout the process to help with their emotional recovery. This is case management now. This is you as a caseworker. This is your duty. Next slide. Explain what confidentiality means, what the exceptions to confidentiality are, like the example you have there. It is important for you to know that I will keep what you tell me confidential. This means that I will not tell anyone what you tell me or share any other information about your case without your permission. There are only a few situations where I may have to tell someone else without your permission. So you mentioned the areas. What are those situations where you need to tell someone else? You let the person know. How you will proceed if you must break confidentiality. If you tell me you have made plans to hurt yourself or others, I will need to tell my supervisor or others who could help you, who could help keep you safe. Okay, someone is saying I'm too fast. I'm so sorry. Let me slow down. Sorry. Okay, so confidentiality and exceptions, I think I've mentioned that before. So this is just to reiterate it, that from the first contact, that time you people met, in this first step, explain to the person the issue of confidentiality, areas where you will break that confidentiality. The person needs to know so that she will know whether to proceed with the case or not to proceed with the case. Next slide. Hello? Hello?
Hi. I can hear you.
Sorry, it's like my network went off and came back again.
Yes, yes, you are back. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Okay, so storage of client information. This is very key. You have to also explain to the survivor that, of course, you have promised the survivor of confidentiality. So how are you going to store the survivor's information? You let the survivor know everything. For instance, you want to do the consent form. You let her know that when you sign this form, do not worry. We keep our forms in a very secure place. And of course, if you are saying that, you have to be sure that on your table, there is any file that has somebody's case on it. Because even as the survivor is there, she's scrutinizing your environment. So if, for instance, as a case manager, she comes and she's seeing GBV cases on the table, a file that has GBV cases labeled on it on the table. Now, what will be in her mind? Oh, my form will also be here and it will be on this table. And there's that possibility that somebody will walk in here and start checking the files. And the somebody that knows me might see it. And that will make her not to talk further. So that's why we said your environment should be safe. So you keep away forms, you keep away information about GBV cases, away from your table, away from other people's view. So you promise her of that. Now in GBV case management information storage, we always use the coding system. For instance, some persons, let's say we have Jane Okoro. You can just use, you can use OK 2005. OK 005. That is for the consent form and the other form. The major form, you can write her name, that one that is just for you. The one that is just for your own consumption, you can write the full name and all the details. But the one that has to do with where you put, for instance, the forms that you're going to use for referrals and other things, you need to code it. Use the coding system to document the survivor's information. Separate consent forms and other file documents. Why? Because a lot of information are on that consent form. So her name, complete name is on the consent form. So you don't need to put it together with other documents. So you put it, like I said, that one is your own personal information. So you need to keep it safe and away from other people's view. Protect documents. It has to be locked cabinet, password protected electronic document. If you are using the system to keep the documents, you have to password it. Establish who has access to which document and for what purpose. In the office there as a case worker, who is supposed to have access to such documents? What is the person using it for? You must know that. You don't release a survivor's information, even within your organization, to anyone, except if there is need. Plan for protection or destruction of documents in case of insecurity. In our training, someone was telling us that, for instance, in IDP camp, where they have a lot of cases of GBV, that the caseworker moves around with the consent form and those documents that have all the information of the survivor. That once they say there is anything, in fact, that the plan is that you just set it on fire. That is to ensure that nobody has access to that information. So that's why they say plan for the protection or destruction of documents in case of insecurity. If maybe peradventure now, the second scenario we mentioned, Madam Grace, her husband is a dog or someone that has some kind of influence, and you have gotten a wind that they are coming to your office to come and, boggle your office or something. What do you do? Because you feel insecure, there's that possibility that maybe they may even trace to your house or anything. What do you do? They say you can destroy the documents. Just to keep that confidentiality and also to secure the survivor's information. Avoid emailing documents where possible. I've done that before this training, and I know that some of us must have also done same. So it is not supposed to be like that. All right, survivor's rights. Can I have a volunteer to read this?
Imagine that you have survived years of repeated severe physical, emotional, sexual, and financial abuse at the hands of your husband. Last night, he beat you so badly that you could barely walk when you woke up, but you decided to come see someone to try to get help anyway because you fear he will actually kill you next time. You arrive at the center and are brought into a room where you meet with a caseworker you recognize from your church. You are anxious about speaking with her since she is well connected in the community, and you would much rather speak with another caseworker. She begins to talk to you and asks you questions about your home life that you don't feel comfortable answering, but you answer anyway because you want help. You also see her writing down your response, which makes you very uneasy. After an hour of answering her questions, you are feeling exhausted and you just want to go home. But she continues on, referring you to a nearby clinic for medical care. You know of that clinic and don't feel comfortable going there because it is near your husband's work, but you are afraid that saying no will anger the case worker.
Thank you very much, Queen Esther. Okay, so let's discuss here. What comes to your mind about number one, the caseworker from the story?
For me, the caseworker is not somebody she's comfortable with, but because she just wants solution to whatsoever she's going through, she just ends up talking to the caseworker. But the caseworker too is not sensitive because number one, she did not seek for consent even before she started writing. If you are doing counseling and you need to write, if you must write, I think you have to seek the consent of your client. That is one. Then secondly, the caseworker was not sensitive enough to notice her body language, because it's not just asking questions, just going on with questions and all that. You have to notice the body language of your client to know if that person is comfortable with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. One more or two persons. What did you see here? Do you think that this survivor will want to continue with the case?
All right, Sarah, please go ahead.
For me, I think the client will not like to continue with the case because the woman did not notice the body language, like she rightly said, and she's not professional enough.
Okay, she's not professional at all. Yes. Any other?
Okay, in addiction, I feel where the case manager got it wrong is in the introduction and engagement. First, you'll be the after exchanging of pleasantry, which is the greeting. You must ensure you build rapport. In that case, I don't think the case manager have actually built rapport and confidentiality. You must ensure that everything will, you must also ensure the safety of both the information and the client. If there's a good rapport, I don't think she will not observe the body language. Body language is key when it comes to GBV because we believe in non-verbal to equal the verbal communication. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I can see so many hands. Sorry, because of our time. Yes, we are all correct. The caseworker is not professional. There is no engagement here because you can, from the story here, the woman went to her because she feels that she's well connected. And then the woman did not even start, trying to build that rapport, like someone said. Instead, she started asking her some questions about her home. And, and the woman is trying to make her understand she's not comfortable to where she's referring her to. But the caseworker is not ready to, change her mind in regards to where she wants the survivor to go to. So that is an unprofessional way of handling a case. Number one, you will endanger the woman the more. Number two, she might not want to continue the case. Number three, your organization, there's that possibility that you might not be having people coming to you any longer, because survivors will also tell others that, this is how this person treats people when they come for services. So it will affect the survivor. It will also affect you as a caseworker, and it also affects your organization. Survivor's rights. You need to tell the survivor their rights at that first engagement. And what are those rights? The right to request that their story or any part of their story not to be documented on case forms. Some of them will say, no, don't write my story on the case form, because I feel that somebody will come and read it. After all explanation and the person refuses, yeah, you don't have anything to do about that. You have to comply. The right to refuse to answer any question they prefer not to. How many children do you have? And she doesn't want to answer you. You don't need to probe further. And remember, before you even ask someone, how many children do you have? It has to be related to what the services you want to provide. Don't ask how many children do you have just because you want to know more about her family. No, maybe you're asking how many children do you have based on the fact that you want to provide an accommodation for her. So maybe you want to get an accommodation that will be suitable enough for the number of children that she has in case she wants to move out her children. So we should not ask questions that are not related to the services we want to provide or to the case at hand. And the survivor has the right not to answer such questions. The right to tell the caseworker when they need to take a break or slow down. Even you, like somebody said, you non-verbal communication. You are speaking with the survivor. At first, the survivor is talking with enthusiasm, answering questions. Then after a while, you see that she's slowing down. She's no longer coordinated. And then because you want to get all the information you want to get or want to continue talking, no, you have to relate with her in a way. Would you want to take a break before we continue? Would you want to take water? Would you want, just make her comfortable. She has the right, whenever she feels that, I can't talk again, let's continue later. Please take a break. She has the right to ask questions or ask for explanation at any time. She has the right to request that a different caseworker be assigned to their case, just like the last scenario that we have. That survivor has the right to say, I don't want to continue with caseworker A. Please, I need another person. That organization is supposed to move her to another caseworker within the organization. If they cannot provide her another caseworker within the organization, then you move her case to another organization. At that point, you don't have any hand or you don't have any rights over her case again. But that doesn't stop you from following up. So she has the right to refuse referrals. Someone will say, what if it is something that is life-threatening? You have explained to her that it's life-threatening and she refused, that she doesn't want. How are you going to get the police to come and pick her and force her and go for that services? It's not possible. So all you need to do is to tell her the pros and the cons. And why she's unwilling to do that, you don't force her or him. So she has the right to refuse without affecting her willingness to do what we are supposed to do. Questions and permission. Ask the survivor if they have any questions and if you have their permission to proceed. The example we have here, do you have any question about anything that I explained to you? Allow time for answer. Don't just say, do you have any question about anything that I explained to you? Then now continue. All right. Okay, now that you have signed the consent form, or now it is time for you to sign the consent form, allow her to express herself. Maybe she needs to process what you have told her before she will ask her questions. So allow her time to do that. If I have answered all of your questions, may I have your permission to continue our conversation and begin working with you? If the survivor say yes, ask the survivor to sign the informed consent form for engaging in case management services and proceed with service delivery. If no, provide information about other case management, safety, health, and legal or justice services in the community. you provide all those things for her, she can go and get other services from elsewhere. For instance, that scenario 2 that we gave of the woman that was battered and, beaten with a belt or with an instrument that broke her head by her husband. If she comes and say, no, I don't want any other thing. All I want counseling. I want my husband to be counseled. I know that he has some anger issues, so I just need a counselor. At that point, it's no longer GBV case management. You have to make her understand. You tell her all the pros and the cons of what she's doing, or how it will affect her if she doesn't take the services that are available for her. You are not a counselor, marriage counselor. Because in GBV case management, by US standard, you don't have anything to do with the perpetrator. So if she needs counseling, what you tell her is, you tell her where she can get such services. Maybe go to a marriage counselor, or go to a church, or go to a mosque, But at that point, you don't have any hand in that case again. So the survivor has the right to refuse your services after you have explained everything that is involved. So you listen and provide the survivor with their own choices. That is why it's called survivor-centered. Not your choices, not how you want it. Because we are activists, most time it's infiltrate into our case management. You want the perpetrator to be punished. Why would she be saying no, that we should not arrest the perpetrator? No, you have to, and of course, if she's still the one that will lead you to go and arrest the perpetrator. So she must give her consent. And if you force her, you cajole her, coerce her, make her to agree to go and get the perpetrator, arrest him and bring him to the police station. When she gets there, she might not want to write under any statement. And I wonder, you will not be the one to write the statement. If it gets to court, who is coming to testify what happened? Who is going to give the account of what happened? So that's why we say step 1 in case management is very important. You get it wrong, you get all other process wrong. You get it right, every other process goes smoothly. Next slide. Hello? Are we still here?
Yes, so
Yes, we are here. Yes, we are here.
Okay,
Yes, we are
so
here.
we're
yes,
going to
so
do
only that you did not give us any
so.
food. Only that you did not give us.
Sorry?
You didn't give us food.
Food care.
Food,
The
Abby?
lecture is food.
All right. We're going to do an online role play now. I want somebody to volunteer to be a survivor. Another person volunteer to be a caseworker. Just in 2 minutes, the survivor, you meet the caseworker, tell her that you were raped and that you need help. Then the caseworker just apply just this step 1 that we talked about. Daniel,
okay,
you can pick from the hands that are up. One as a survivor, one as a caseworker.
Okay. So I think someone is speaking up. So what role do you want to play?
Okay, the survivor.
Okay, what's your name,
Survivor.
please?
My name is
And
Ambassador Endurance Wanshuku Bekinawe. And yeah, Ambassador Endurance.
Okay. So she's playing the survivor. Who will play the caseworker? Good Women Association, are you raising your hand to play that role?
No, I just have a concern. I wanted to ask a question then.
Okay, we'll come to that very briefly.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Harriet,
Yes.
are you playing the role of the caseworker?
Am I?
Are you volunteering to play the role of caseworker?
No, I am not.
Why
Okay.
are we afraid? Don't worry, there is no penalty. We are all here to learn. Please, somebody should volunteer.
Okay, Dr. Helen, I see your hand. Are you playing the caseworker?
Hello.
Okay, the hand is down again. Sarah, I saw
Okay,
your hand a while ago.
please, what's the caseworker is
I
supposed
said,
to
let
do?
me try.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I stand to be corrected. Let me play the role of the case manager.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ambassador Endurance.
So who
So the
is
floor is
the
yours now.
survivor? Who
Ambassador
is the
Endurance.
survivor?
You are
Sorry,
muted.
Daniel,
If you are
I didn't get
speaking.
that. Who is the survivor?
Ambassador Endurance volunteered.
Okay, then the caseworker is who?
The caseworker is Sarah.
All right, so action, 2 minutes.
Our survivor disappeared.
Wow, maybe her network.
Yes, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
let
much.
me take the role of the
Will it
survivor
be
then.
audio or can they make it video so that we can watch from our ends?
Okay,
Let me take the role of the survivor.
Hello.
Hello.
I think they can on their video.
Yes, please. So Good Woman Association is now
I'm
volunteering
back.
to
Network
play
is
the
back.
role
Okay, action.
Can you repeat?
Please on your video.
Yes. Okay. I should. Okay. Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Biola Defo. I really need help. I was raped by my father last night. I was thinking I was dreaming, not until I saw my father on top of me. I really need help, ma.
Okay. Please, what's the name again? I can't hear the name.
My name is Biola Defo.
Biola, right?
Biola, yes, my name is Biola. Last night, when I was sleeping, I thought I was dreaming. Not until I woke up, I saw my father on top of me. I was raped by my father. Please, can you help me?
Yes, Biola, you are in the right place. Thank you for coming. You see, we'll be managing cases in this place. By the grace of God, all our survivors, they are doing well. You see, one thing I want to ensure you, please feel free. Don't be scared to tell me anything.
Thank you, ma.
Whatever you tell me here will be kept secrets between me and you, except anything that is above my capacity. Maybe one or two, those that can help us, that we know about the case. So feel free to tell me. You know what? You are the right place. Don't be scared. Everything will be fine right now, even as you are talking to me. Okay. Please, before we continue, there is a form I actually want to fill. This form is not to threaten you. Don't think as I'm writing, don't be scared. I'm just filling the form. This form, we call it a consent form. For you to tell me that this form, you will agree to me that we should continue with the case. So please, you go agree make we talk more about this case so that you go agree to sign up for me. More we continue.
Yes, ma, but I'm really scared, ma. I don't want my family, my father's family to know that I'm really here. I'm really scared. I'm scared because my mother is not really also helping issue. She's not really helping matter. She's saying I want to destroy our marriage. So I wish I could sign that consent form because I really need help.
Biola, you, like as I said before, you are the right place. Whatever we do here, just between you and us. So don't worry, your father people, they will not know. Even your mom, don't worry, everything will be fine.
Thank you very much, ma. Hope you will not send my father to prison.
My dear Biola, is what you want. Eh? The way you want it, that's how we handle it. If you don't want your father to go to prison, don't worry, he will not go to prison. Except you choose to. Are we okay?
Okay, ma, yes. I'm ready to sign the consent form.
Thank you, thank you. Thumbs up for them. Thank you for volunteering. Please, let's give them some thumbs. Well done, well done. So we did observations now based on what we have discussed. Observations. Well done. Let me give you my own thumb up.
Well done.
Okay, observations.
I have one.
All right,
For
please
me,
go ahead.
okay, for me, number one, she did not ask for the victim's age. She doesn't know if she's a minor and can sign the consent form. That is number one, because the victim said, my father. So we cannot ascertain if she's a minor or an adult. That is one for me. Then number two, somebody that is raped, I think one of the things that you should do before even writing down is to know if she needs medical support and if you can even get evidences from the rape victim. Then lastly, I think the case manager made ambiguous promises, like do not worry, we would not arrest your father, everything will be fine. Everything may not be fine as at that time because a rape victim cannot be the same. The way everything cannot go back to how it was because number one, she was raped. That cannot be returned to her. So I think the case manager made a whole lot of promises which shouldn't be. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that observation. Very, very key observation. Starting with that ambiguous promise. That ambiguous promise is not supposed to be there. And then the age that she talked about. And then what was the third one you mentioned? The
medical
really brought out
assistance and evidence to be taken.
Assistance, very important. Yes, one more person, then we'll round up.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Habakkuk. I'm from Kebbi. My observation was on even though network has a challenge, but from the survivor, the way she presents herself does not look as if something so serious happened to her. So she's supposed to, present herself that can be very sympathetic to the case manager that will address the issue. So they should have a kind of, for you to be able to move swiftly into the situation without delay. So she was just relaxed as if nothing happened, it was not show seriousness of her case. That's my observation.
Okay, thank you very much, Habakkuk, for that observation. But let me say here that our focus is on the caseworker. Now, in as much as, excuse me, in as much as we know that the issue at hand is something that is sympathetic, I want to assure you that different survivors react differently to the same issue. There will be a rape victim that will come in crying. There's one that will come in. We have had a situation where, let me on my video so that I will demonstrate and you see. You will see a survivor coming to tell you of rape and she's chewing and say, now rape, oh, my father just raped me. And then you'll be like, was this one really raped? Maybe she's one agbero like that. No, you need to put your biases behind. Your expectation of a survivor or what you interpret a survivor should be is not, you should put it behind you, because different survivors, you know, they react to the same situation differently. Some, the way of a kind of reacting their own trauma could be crying. Some may be just that chewing gum. Some may just be hysterical. They will just be shouting. They will just be, in fact, they will irritate you as a caseworker. If you are not professional about it, you may walk them out of your office. So by being a professional caseworker, your duty is to calm the person down and bring the person to normalcy. So for the survivor, that's not where our attention is. Our attention right now is on the caseworker. One last one.
Hello, Patricia. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Satana Ibrahim from Kebbi State. My observation here is the caseworker did not introduce herself to the survivor. There should be introduction between them. Likewise, the survivor introduced herself while the caseworker was asking, I didn't get your name. Likewise, the caseworker supposed to introduce herself, her organization, and what she intends to do to the survivors. That is one. Another thing I observe is no any medical report, though someone has said that, and no police report, which is very, very important in any rape case or any GBV case. So these are my observations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hassana. Yes, they are very key. The information that was given to the survivor was too scanty. For the survivor to understand particular issue. Yes. So you are supposed to tell, you are even supposed to, within 72 hours, you are supposed to let her know that there are services. These are the services. For a perpetrator of such, he is supposed to be arrested because he's a perpetrator, so that he doesn't also do the same to other people. For if you need justice, these are the people that can provide justice. For instance, the GBV caseworkers or organizations that are working in GBV. For us, we work with FIDA and they provide pro bono services. You can tell her all the services available that she can access. And it's because you didn't give her much information. That's why she keeps asking you. She's not the one asking you that, will her father be arrested? She doesn't want her father to go to jail. And then there's one other question she asked. It's because you have not given her adequate information. Before you even meet with your survivor, you can pen down all the information you are supposed to give your survivor. Because at that first stage, that introduction and engagement, it is you that will be talking, not the survivor. It is the caseworker's time. It's you that the survivor is to listen to you. You listen to you, you tell the survivor all the information needed before you now come to informed consent. Even before the informed consent, you should be able to ask her whether she needs further clarifications about the things or the information you have given her before you bring about the issue of informed consent. And very key, introduction. You didn't introduce yourself to her. She's the one that introduced herself, but you didn't introduce herself to you. But in all, the caseworker, at least I love the voice. I love the welcoming smile. I love the way you made her comfortable. You even made a very ambiguous promise, which is unethical. You don't make such promises. Yes, you don't make such promises. That's why you need that adequate information. You give her adequate information so that she will now know that these are the issues on ground. All right, I think this is all we have for today. Thank you very much for listening. I enjoyed your participation and your the way everybody is alert on the training. Thank you very much.
Kindly
So
check
Daniel,
the chat box.
I have a concern before you drop, please.
yes, he will coordinate the questions. I can see some hands up.
Okay,
Yes.
Please check the chat box.
You said check the what?
Daniel, are
The
you there?
chat box. There might be some posts on the chat box that are relevant.
All right, so thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Dr. Beatrice Onoja. That was impactful and insightful. From the chat, I'll just read some of the comments here while we take turns to ask our questions. So if you do have any question, just raise up your hand, then I'll go one after the other. All right, so Oladoye Oluwatosin made the observation that the conversation is too formal between the caseworker and the survivor. He says that the survivor needs a friend first to convince her to take the bold step. Then Richard Nwamadi says that it's not a religious issue. So saying by the grace of God, everything will be okay, need not arise. It's a professional service provision. And the survivor came to you because you are a professional service provider. Also, it says that the consent form needed to be explained better so that the survivor can assimilate the content well. These are some of the things we've mentioned before. Yes, and there was some of commendation for the great work presenting. So we'll then go over to those that are raising their hands to ask their question. Good Woman Association, please, I think that's Abiola. Please go ahead and ask your question. After that, Dr. Ngozi, then after that, Dara Rolly. Thank you. Abiola, please unmute and ask your question. All right, while we wait for her, Dr. Ngozi, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Thank you so very much, Daniel. Thank you so very much to the facilitator and for this session. So mine is more of a concern. So in this particular session, I see that we had taken up to about we have taken about 4 case scenarios, if I didn't mistake, about 4 or 5 case scenarios, which we had taken. And in all of this, he had the face of a woman. And I asked, where are we leaving the men? Men are also facing GBV. Men are also facing SGBV. Why are we not creating a balance? We are trying to right a lot of wrongs that we have made in this particular intervention. So please, I will expect that going forward, let our sessions be balanced. Let us talk about the boy child and the male child as much as we are painting scenarios for the male folks, for the female folks as well. So that's just my concern. Thank you so very much for this session. Thank you.
Thank you. Great points.
Yes,
and
I
wonderful
have
concern. But I'm glad that even on the call today, we have a number of men on the call. But I do appreciate your perspective. It was a thought that crossed my mind too, and I appreciate you voicing it out. And hopefully our facilitators will shed more light on that.
Okay, Daniel, because I'm a man now, she has spoken on behalf of the men, right?
Yeah.
Well done.
Hello,
Exactly.
Mr. Daniel, can I
I
have a concern.
I have something too to say.
Yes, please, Ambassador Endurance.
Okay. Sorry, the network yacked me off, so I couldn't participate in the drama that was supposed to come online. So sorry about that. Network was pretty bad here. And in all of the presentation, just like what Dr. Ngozi just said, drawing light to the men, but mine is of a different perspective, but rather from the riverine communities.
where we have cases like this going on, but we have a little bit of challenge assessing security agents and even medical service to give prompt response to survivors, and even aside survivors trying to implement, carry out some sort of justice for perpetrators, give justice to the survivors and perpetrators facing the full wrath of the law. We do have a lot of back job on that area. So I will also appreciate it if a light will be thrown to that aspect where our riverine dwellers, the riverine communities from the creeks, where these major challenges we are facing there, people can have a way where we see how we can mitigate towards that, around that environment. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And great concern, but I think Dr. Beatrice already alluded to the fact that she was going to treat the referral structure and how to refer later on in the training. Yes, unquestionably, there are areas that are hard to reach, even for caseworkers, for legal people, for even the law enforcement. But I think that should throw more light on that as we make progress. Thank you. Vera Rowley.
Yeah, can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation from the doctor. I just want to ask, I have a concern and a question. My concern is when she was making her presentation, she said we shouldn't ask the survivor's parents, maybe the mother, or asking the survivor how many children did they have. Like a scenario, the case I just handled, we have where the father slept with the girl, raped the girl, and there were 5 in the family, left with 4 at home. And as we will also have it, not knowing the father was also sleeping, has also already defined one of the male child. So in that case, you are saying we shouldn't ask the family, how many children do you have? If you don't ask, how will you be able to get to know if another child is also facing that same issue? And again, I don't know how this to be done and how we go about it, where cases are reported and the justice are not being served in time, where justice are being delayed, and where the perpetrator or where the survivor, most of them back out. The family back out that they are tired of, even when the NGOs, the CPN, that is the Child Protection Network in Lagos State, are trying to push further, where the survivor are no more showing up, that they can't keep going to court for weeks, months, years. So how do we work in those areas? How do we work in the area of justice for survivor, on-time justice for survivor, after getting the report that this person actually was raped and that the evidence is basically shown? And how do we go about justice on time that will not make the survivor get fed up?
I think we get your thoughts. Yes.
Okay.
Daniel, because of our time, because we're supposed to end this session at 3.
Okay.
I will start with the last speaker. The second question, put it at the parking lot. We will discuss that in the other steps about the justice system. It's everywhere, not just in Lagos State, not just in other states. It's everywhere. And then the issue of, for those of you that listened carefully, I did not accurately say you should not ask how many children. I said ask if it is relevant to your intervention.
You are right. Yeah. That is it.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
Thank you.
If it is relevant for instance, the scenario you created now is relevant for you to know how many children she has.
Exactly.
Yes. So if a woman comes to you and she's telling you that her husband has been beating her, at that point you don't have the right to start asking her how many children do you have. What if the beating was because of that she has not given birth? You further traumatize her.
No. Yeah.
Do you understand? So
Yes.
at that point, you don't ask her how many children. It's why you are
Yeah.
engaging with her. If there is need, she will let you know.
Okay.
So, but when you are now doing an intervention that the whole family is already involved, okay, he's beating even my first child, he's beating my first child, he attempted raping my second child. At that point, okay, so how many are the children? It's relevant, it's necessary.
It's relevant, yeah. Thank
Yeah, so what we are
you
saying
very
is
much.
that avoid irrelevant questions that can trigger the trauma that the survivor is already passing through. So that's what we're trying to protect. Daniel, I think we should have 1 or 2 more questions. My time is up. I have another meeting. I'm sorry.
All right. Yes, thank you so much for clarifying. Bande Sedo, your hand is up. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, I just want to thank the facilitator for today. They have done their best. I don't think that I will make it, but I thank God that I didn't participate for today, and I was happy. I would appreciate the section. It was good for me. So we look forward for tomorrow as we continue again.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Vera, please, quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you for throwing more insight into case management. But please, I don't know if it was mentioned and I missed it. When you were taking us on the steps of case management, where does referral, where does it fall into in the steps of case management? Thank you.
We just did step 1 today. By the time we enter other steps, you will see where referral falls in. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, ma.
Asana.
Thank you very much for this wonderful training. Please, I would like to ask, what time are we meeting tomorrow, by God's grace?
Same time, 1 p.m.
We'll communicate that on the platform, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great. So, Bedo Sedo says he's unable to.
We're already prepared for this time. I thought this training is already scheduled to be the same time, same everything for the 3 days. We already have understanding it is 1 to 3 p.m. I don't know why this is coming up.
Yes, it is 1 to 3 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then please, if what happened at the beginning time, we lost some time because so many people had their devices, the recorders, the videos, the audios on. Please, the admin should mute everyone so that we have a seamless interaction. You can only on yours when you are free and allowed to talk.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Noted.
great.
That's a very important point to note. Thank you.
Yes, and I'm glad that we all agree with that. So we expect a better cooperation tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, Bedo, are you still raising your hand? Are you able to speak now before we
Yes,
wrap up?
I'm still raising my hand. Good afternoon,
All right,
everyone.
please go ahead. Good afternoon.
Mine is actually a case I'm handling
All
at
right,
my
I think we,
organization.
Daniel.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Can I continue, ma?
We are hearing you, ma.
Okay, it's actually a case I'm handling at my organization, a rape case of a 13-year-old. And
Sorry,
the
was
mother
there any question
really...
again?
Yes, there's one currently being asked.
What was the question?
She's still speaking.
All right, ma. If I may continue.
Yes, please.
Okay, there's this case of a 13-year-old girl who was raped by her neighbor, who is a medical doctor. So the mother actually came to our organization to report the case, but she said at the point of rape, they couldn't apprehend, they didn't find the man during the act, but the girl actually confessed that the man had been raping her severally. And then the case was taken to the police. The police had promised to take her for medicals, which according to them, they did. But the mother's concern was that because the man was a medical doctor that was popularly known in the area, he was able to meet with the doctor that was carrying out the test on the girl, and the results actually came out negative, not showing that the girl was indeed raped. And this was after about a week that the doctor was able to release the result to her. So on coming to our organization, in as much as the woman wants justice for her daughter, we couldn't have much to help her. You know, we had to refer the case because she needed a lawyer, but we couldn't gather much evidence to help with the case. So I just wanted to ask if the woman's statement is actually enough, or that of the girl is enough for such a case for the perpetrator to be prosecuted, because the case actually seemed a little bit hopeless. But on our own end, I don't know, we try to encourage the woman to perhaps involve the perpetrator in a talk that will lead him to confessing, and then maybe she could record something, because she told us the man was actually boastful about the act. So that was the advice we gave her. I don't know if that would actually help with the case. Thank you.
Okay. I think this case, we are going to use it as a scenario again tomorrow. When we come to step 2, assessment. And I want to say, I don't know, did they bring the case to you before going to the police for the clinic?
No, the case was actually, it started with the police, because when the guy was, the case, it was actually the police that started the case. It was later on that we were brought in.
Okay, it's already with
the case was taken to the police first. Yes, it was actually the police that took her to the hospital for the test.
Okay, that's where it was messed up, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yes, that's where it was messed up, ma'am.
Yes, we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll use it as a case scenario tomorrow. We have issues like that, but I believe there's still something that can be done.
All right, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We already overshot our time by almost 20 minutes. So if we are ready now, let's take our photo for the day. We can turn on our cameras and just give a big smile so that we can have a beautiful picture.
No, I think very funny. God, I didn't even mute.
Great. See all the wonderful people. All right, just a moment.
Please wait. Okay.
Okay. We are waiting now.
Doctor, well done, ma.
Thank you, ma.
Okay, can we proceed now?
I don't know where to press not to get my pictures.
Okay, first picture.
This our smile is inspiring, you know.
Just a moment, just a moment. We are over 90 here, so I am unable to snap everything at the same time, so I'm taking it one screen at a time.
Pastor Christy, well done, ma.
Thank you, ma.
Yes, ma. It's good to see all of us.
Thank you, ma.
Yes, ma.
I've been taking notes so that my smile will not finish.
Please don't let my smile.
Yes, ma.
Endurance, well done, ma.
Yes,
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, ma.
We hope this will make us serve our communities better. Oh. That's the whole objective. Yes, ma. I can see my sister in transit. Well done, ma.
Thank you. Okay. So I think that we are good now.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you to everyone.
Mr. Daniel.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow, same time.
Thank you.
I see you.
Buddy.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Welcome. Mr. Ibrahim, well done, sir.
Johanna, say the name again, Joseph Johanna. Not you.